Hi guys, today I'm gonna show you a little bit of eatable and medicinal plants that grow here, just in case you ever get lost in the woods, or if this COVID pandemic leaves you without money, then just go to the woods. I assure you, here you will not starve. Well, at least not in winter. So we can just walk around here just a little bit and see how many things you can actually find in the woods that can help survive. You know, nature is so wonderful, it gives us so much, but sometimes we just don't know about it. So let's go. Okay, first thing we see is a birch tree. In early spring, in Russia, people cut it just like here. And that's natural, but they make a small cut and they get the birch tree juice. It's actually very good. It's sweet, very gentle, nice. It hurts a tree though, so I don't really like doing that, but sometimes if you have no choice, you can try. Also, from this birch tree branches they usually make brooms for heating yourself in the sauna. So, right under here, what can we see? Well, this is mugwort that everybody knows, I think. There are many varieties of mugwort, and it looks a little different in different countries, but you can pretty much recognize it anyways. So this is actually a medicinal plant. It's good for digestion, it's good for female reproductive organs, and it's antiseptic. So like in old times when they didn't have much, during epidemics of plague or cholera, they used to burn this. This is actually also what moxa is made of. So in Europe they used to burn it and like disinfect houses during the epidemics with the smoke of this plant. But with this plant, better be careful because it can be also toxic if you consume too much. Otherwise, you just make tea with it. Sometimes you can even buy it in a drugstore in many places. So this is also a very common plant. I think many people have seen it. It grows like almost everywhere where I've been around the world. I don't remember seeing it in Malaysia though. In Russia we call it podorожник, which means basically that it grows along the road. It's a medicinal plant. Since childhood we were taught that like when we, for example, fall down and scratch our knees or something, we used to like just take it, spit on it, spit on it and put it to our broken knee or something. And supposedly it actually really does stop the blood. So for example, even when you have some internal bleeding, it's better to go to the doctor, of course, in this case, but if you can't, then you have to drink tea from this plant. Or like if women have too much blood during menstruation, they also recommend to drink this. Also, you can just eat it. You can fry it up, just like cabbage or any other hard leaf vegetable. It tastes quite good. Nowadays I eat it almost every day, so I'm gonna collect some for my today's lunch. Let's go further. And don't need to go too far. Oh, here it's this a little nice plant. It's called kislitsa in Russian. So this kislitsa, it has a very gentle sour taste. Very nice. Very nice. You can use it in salads, just like sorrel, if you know what it is. It's another actually plant that we can find in the wild as well as in the garden, and it grows around here. I'll show you later. They say also, I never tried, but they say that the roots of this kislitsa plant, which means basically kislitsa is translated as sour plant. They say that they taste a little bit like potato. They have a little starchy. I never tried because I don't want to dig it out, but you can try it if you're very hungry. Actually, this is the wild raspberry. Now here it doesn't have fruits. Raspberry, you can use the leaves also to make tea. It gives a very nice flavor. Later, if I see, I will show you the fruits of it, the berries. Okay, this plant. In Russian we call it the blackhead, черная головка. It's also a medicinal plant, and it's known since ages, like in ancient Rome they mention it. They used to you can apply the whole plant to the wound and stops bleeding and prevents the inflammation. Also can eat it. Can eat leaves and flowers. Just make salad. It doesn't taste particularly good, but kind of nice gentle taste. Just the taste of grass, basically. The same as basically the salad that we grow in the garden. So yeah, this is how it looks. Also very common in many countries. You see, now I'm in Korea, but all these plants I know since childhood from Russia. Okay, let's go further. Here they are, the wild raspberry. It's already out of season a little bit, so not finds it so easily. And this is actually the mulberry tree. See, there's still some mulberries left. Also, mulberry season is almost finished. Okay, this is the berry that in Russian they call buzina. We usually eat it it's not ripe, it should become black. We eat it when we have flu, fever. It has a lot of vitamin C and it helps to reduce the fever. But now it's not yet ready. Oh, and this down there, of course it's not wild, but just interesting to see. Maybe you didn't know. You know what it is? This is the shiitake farm. You know shiitake mushroom? So this is how they grow them. Because it's a tree mushroom, so They make a hole in the tree, in a piece of wood, and put the mushroom seeds inside. Not the seeds, but I don't know the correct word for that. And cover it up a little bit, and then it grows. So that's how they grow. I don't see much wild mushrooms here. I guess they will appear sometime later. Maybe in July, August mostly. Oh, and this is the grave. This is how in Korea they traditionally bury their dead. It's according to Feng Shui. They have to find a place which... Actually, they always find a very good place. With a very nice view. Here you don't see much view, but maybe many years ago the trees were lower, so you could see the mountain in front and there's a river down there. So, yeah, this is the grave. Not bad, huh? I wouldn't mind staying here. You know, actually many plants, not only the ones that I'm showing you right now, but much more of them in the wild nature are eatable. Many of them are medicinal, but many of them are also poisonous. So if you're not sure about what you are trying to put in your mouth, better don't touch it. Because some of them, it's really enough just a little bit to make you very sick, or some of them are actually lethal. You can die after eating them. One of our friends in Musangsa, one of our Korean friends, just a few years ago almost died after eating some plant in the mountains. He just put it in his mouth and immediately he felt like that his mouth is getting swollen. So he rushed down to the closest village or town, wherever he was, and managed to find a doctor, and he fainted, lost his consciousness right in the doctor, as soon as he entered the doctor's room. And yeah, if he didn't seek for help a little longer, he would have been paralyzed and died somewhere in the forest. So yeah, don't joke around with wild nature. It can be very generous and very dangerous. This is the monk's hut for soul retreat. So now I'm showing you only those plants that I really know very well. Since early childhood we've been, most of the people, at least my generation in Russia, know these plants and been using them. And my parents, my grandparents taught me how to use them, so this is pretty safe. But other than that, can experiment, but be careful. That white thing in the far, that's a tent. That's also a place to stay and practice in solitude. Okay, here we come into something interesting. This plant in Russian we call makrushnik. It's already blooming, so maybe not so good, but still can eat. It's good. It's kind of nice, actually, gentle taste, a little crunchy. You can eat it as salad or we usually put it in soup. Makrushnik basically means wet, wet plant. So it usually grows in wet places, dark and wet. Here, for some reason, it grows like in the middle of the road. Not sure why, but it's pretty wet. Actually, here now, that's maybe why. Yeah, this plant is absolutely safe, and I'm gonna use it today for soup. Okay, this also many people know, I think. I forgot its word in English, clever in Russian. You can eat it. You can eat the flowers. In the childhood we just used to, suck on them. And the leaves, good for salad. But these are a little bit hard. This is better. This we can fry. Always better find the younger plant. Oh, this is the grave of the former owner of this temple, the old monk. He died in 2012. This is the wild sorrel. Oh, shavel, I call it in Russian. It grows. We grow it actually in the vegetable gardens also. And the wild one, we call it horse sorrel. Because it doesn't taste as good as the cultured one. But like old leaves, they really don't have, they're kind of a little bitterish. But younger ones, they have a distinct sour taste. So in Russia we cook actually soup from sorrel, summer soup. We put these leaves, a little bit of potato, a little bit of zucchini, and it's a very nice, refreshing soup for summer. We eat it cold. This one plant is already kind of old. I see it's giving the seeds already. So that's why its leaves, they're still kind of sour, a little bit, but not as much as they are when they're young. I try to find something. I saw many of them here. Something younger. Oh, here, this is much better. Yeah, that tastes much better. This leaf. We have some cultured ones here also growing. I will show you. Actually, I'm not sure, maybe it's also wild, because I don't think anybody here would plant it on purpose. Good. Okay, let's go. At the same time, I'm giving you a tour around the Korean temple. Well, lotus, whoever lives in the country where the lotus grows, I think everybody knows that basically everything, every part of this plant is edible. Well, I don't know if they eat lotus flowers though, but leaves they use to wrap the rice, roots are edible. You can either cook them or dry them up and make into tea. And the seeds also are eatable. Some people even make pesto with seeds. This is some fish. Probably also edible, but don't do that. There's too many plants you can eat, so don't take anybody else's life. Pine tree. You see this pine tree? Whoever practices in the Kwanu School of Zen knows that it's perfectly edible because our founding teacher, Zen Master Sun, ate the pine tree needle powder for 100 days. But also, it's been used actually since ancient times to treat pine needles, to treat the dental disease that is caused by the lack of vitamin C, especially in the northern parts of the world. It's called tsinga in Russian. I'm not sure what's the name in English again. Because pine tree needles contain a lot of vitamin C. So you can collect it, crush it, and eat as a powder as our Zen Master Sung San, or you can make tea. My father used to make tea for me when I was sick from pine needles, and especially pine tree, not young, very young cones. If I can get close to some pine tree here, I will show you later. Okay. Okay, so this is actually the type of a chamomile. Usually in medicine they use another type of chamomile, which actually is called medicinal chamomile, but this one also you can use it, this part, you can use it for making tea. This is like more, in Russia we call it the decorational chamomile. It grows usually in the gardens. But can use for tea. It tastes good. I tried. And this is somebody who usually comes to our garden to have lunch. Welcome. This is what I was talking about before. This is the cultured sorrel. It's so much more gentle and so much more sour. Wow. It's gonna be a good soup. I'll collect it later. This plant is wild. Like, it's actually like a weed that grows in many yards everywhere, and many people don't like it. Don't like it growing in their yards, but actually it's eatable and it really tastes good. Just when you collect it, you have to be careful because this weed oftentimes is invaded by some kind of insects that make this kind of white stuff on top of it. So if you have this, don't eat it because you don't want to have this insects inside of your body. Okay, here is the garden. But now we're not concerned about cultured stuff. But here we have this. Everybody knows, dandelion. So from the flowers, some people make jam. Well, I don't know. I think there are many other things that you can make jam from. And the leaves, they're a little bit bitter. Young ones are okay still. Look, in France we used to make salad from this. It tasted very good. Actually, in French, dandelion is called pissenlit, which means pee in your bed. Why? Because supposedly it simulates your urinating. So usually, especially in spring, they collect the young leaves, and then we used to fry the cotton. It's like dried pieces of bread. Fry them up with garlic, mix them with the leaves, and that salad was delicious. This is not wild. I'm sure it was planted, but probably can meet in the wild nature too. Still, this is ginkgo tree, ginkgo biloba. You know, they assign a lot of kind of almost magical properties to this tree in the East. They say that it helps your memory, it helps your concentration. It's apparently also very good for health, but can be also poisonous. So usually what they eat is the nuts, seeds from this tree, which will appear in autumn. As far as I heard, I never tried, but I heard that they also make tea from the leaves. You can easily recognize the leaves. It's very unusual shape. And in autumn it looks very beautiful. It becomes bright yellow. And we're almost back. So this is the plant which in Russia we call chistotel, which means clean body. It's not edible. It actually contains, as I heard, about 20 different kind of poisons. So don't try to eat it. It's really not good for you. Even though, but it's used as a medicine. So when I was little, we used to squeeze this juice out and put it on our. If you have different kind of skin problems, you can try and apply it to your skin. But actually, how they suggest to use it is actually take the whole plant and like grind it, put it through the grinder or maybe blender, and then this juice you have to keep it in the fridge, make it kind of ferment a little bit, and then you can apply it to your skin, problematic areas of your skin. That's why it's called clean body, because it cleans all this kind of skin problems. I guess just because it's so poisonous. Some people recommend to eat it also, like in different preparations from this plant. You can take it in a very small amounts as medicine. Some people even claim that it can treat cancer, but I wouldn't be so sure about that. So if you want to try it, better consult with somebody who knows more about these plants. This is also something maybe many people know. This is a poppy flower, and this is the poppy seed box. They say usually that if you drink the water that collects in the poppy flower, for example after the rain or in the morning, it can make you sleepy. So like you can collect it and drink it before going to sleep if you have sleeping problems. And this, no, it's not ripe. When it gets riper, you can collect the seeds, and they're frequently used in bakery. You can add it in salads. And well, if you collect really a lot, maybe you can make heron, but I don't know how to make it. This is the wild sesame. This is what I was talking about. See this little small pine cones that are starting to appear? They contain a lot of essential oils, and that's what you can My father used to make me when I had a sore throat and like cough and stuff. He used to make like boil them and then take a pot with the boiled plants, like the scones and pine needles, and cover me with a blanket and just make me breathe in the smoke, the steam, like make this kind of inhalation. It actually helps. So yeah, you can try it when you're sick. This tree over there, it's a wild cherry. Let's get closer. Now it's full of berries. Not all of them are ripe yet. I think this is enough for today. So I hope you enjoy staying in the forest if you can. See, if you have problems feeding yourself at home, run to the forest. It can feed you with no problem. It's a wonderful place. And I hope you enjoy watching it, and please stay safe and healthy, and I think there will be no more entertainment on my part for you because my quarantine soon is gonna be over and I'm going back to Musangsa, and there we have Kölche. Our summer retreat is going on, so no more time for playing around with the phone. Okay, hope you all well, stay well, and thank you to everybody who's still working in the front lines, trying to help us cope with this pandemics, and enjoy your life.